Well, great to be back on pitchside. We're here in Rawalpindi. It is an opportunity for South Africa to redeem themselves. Pakistan, of course, will be looking to really win this series, and they seem to be relying on that spin strategy for them. What combinations is South Africa going to go for, or what Pakistan will go for, we'll surely find out, because that's going to be crucial. A quick look at what we had previously as well in that test match. Just a quick reminder of how things went in that first test match at Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore, where Pakistan made 378 in their first innings, with Salman Ali Agha at the top making 93. In response, South Africa were bundled out for 269, with Dazorzi making a fantastic 100. From a Pakistan perspective, the second innings didn't go as well as to plan, but of course it was enough for them to win that test match, Pakistan winning by 93 runs. Well, all to play for in this particular test match. I've got two gentlemen who absolutely love being on pitch side now. They've become regulars, Sean Pollock and Waqar Yunus, and the smiles tell you a story. Waqar, all to play for in this one. South Africa can win and level the series. From a Pakistan perspective, they seem to be loving this strategy of relying on their spinners to win. So, looking forward to it?
Yeah, very much looking forward to it. And I think Pakistan will be loving it more because of the conditions at home, and they already won up in the series. Only 2 test matches. That's the problem with the 2 test match series, that, once you lose one, you're always catching up. So I think South Africa on the back foot. I don't think it's going to be different to what we see in Lahore. The pitch is going to be helpful to the spinners, and you'll see a lot of spin coming into play very early in the game.
What can we expect then from South Africa? How do they come back from that loss and really look to win this one?
Yeah, I think they've learned a lot of lessons from that first test. What South Africa's been really good about over the last 2 or 3 years is their character. When they've had their back to the wall, they're showing character, they're fighting back. And in order to go somewhere in this World Test Championship to defend their title, they have to start winning away from home. It's going to be challenging, obviously, this test match, 2 against India, 2 against Sri Lanka in the subcontinent. So they have to find a way. I think they'll change their combinations. Interested to see what teams come out at the toss. But I think they'll be better for that first test. The game plans will be more solid, and I think they have an understanding about what's required. Also, the thing is they want to win the toss. I think everyone here, both teams, want to win the toss.
Absolutely. That toss is going to be extremely crucial, as we saw in that first test match. Like Polly said, that will be interesting to see what team they go up with. Also from Pakistan, if there are any changes at all, and how the surface is looking. Let's not forget that that was crucial in that first test match, how it sort of deteriorated in the next few days. Is that going to be playing as well the way we saw in Gaddafi Stadium? Let's find out, because we are ready with the toss and the pitch report. It's over to Ramiz Raja with the 2 captains.
The weather is beautiful here in Rawalpindi as we get ready for the toss. The 2 captains are out here. Ranjan Madugale is going to oversee the toss. Shan has the coin.
Tails is the call.
Tails is the call.
It is heads.
And it's come down as heads. Shan, you won the toss. It's an important toss to win once again. What do you make of the conditions, and what have you decided to do?
Obviously, again, a bit on the dry side. But again, we don't know how it's going to play. We haven't played here for a while, so best bat first and see how it plays.
How many runs do you think?
Never enough. So again, we have to, again, like Aiden said in the last game, the toss doesn't decide anything. You still have to execute your skills, and for us it's about settling in, and if there are partnerships, we have to make sure we go big.
Continue with the same flow, I guess, because that's important for Pakistan. On the cusp of something very special, you've not really beaten South Africa 2-0 before.
Look, I think we have to take it one day at a time. Azhar Bhai always says that it's session by session, and if we win more sessions, then we'll put ourselves in the right place.
Any team changes?
Just one. Asif Afridi makes his debut today.
All right, okay, have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And when your task begins again, I mean, losing the toss, is that 25% of the game, or do you think this pitch is a different one to Lahore?
Yeah, you can't believe that, Ramiz. Obviously, we'd have looked to bat first as well, but yeah, we've seen and we've expected the conditions that we've got so far, and got a couple of lessons from that first innings in Lahore, and hopefully we can get those things right in this first innings now when we bowl.
Is it different from captaincy point of view to manage so many spin options? Because, a South African leader usually operates with a lot of pace.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different. You sort of just get a feel for the rhythm of the game and how settled maybe the batters are feeling, and then you sort of try to change it up from there. But we've got world-class spinners in our ranks, and I'm very blessed with them, and yeah, looking forward to seeing the work that they do this week.
Okay, team changes?
yeah, we got two changes. So Marco Jansen and Keshav Maharaj comes in, and unfortunately Vian Mulder and Subran misses out.
Have a good one.
Cheers, thank you.
Right, then the news from the toss is that Pakistan have won it and decided to bat on what appears to be another difficult pitch for batsmen. But anyway, we've got a pitch expert here. Bazid Khan is here with us. So, a couple of questions straight away. When will the ball turn? And how many runs do you think? And what is the best way to bat on this pitch?
I'll start straight away. Ball will turn straight away because it looks very abrasive. This is about, say, good length. And you just run your hands on it and it feels abrasive. So it's going to be a challenge for the batters because the ball should turn, should grip. I think batting first, obviously, your choice to bat first and then put runs because it'll get probably deteriorate further. You have to be positive. As a batter, especially against spin, you have to be positive. You have to have a couple of shots. I think the sweep shot, again, we saw in the first test as well. The sweep shot, so important. But you have to have a couple of shots where you can either rotate strike or put pressure back on the bowlers. I think this is even more dry than the surface we saw at Lahore, and it's more abrasive. So looking at it, you feel as if this should really help the spinners.
You haven't answered the question. How many runs do you think?
I think anything.
The best day would be today.
Batting first, you get anything over 275. I think you're ahead of the game. Anything under that, the game does get balanced. But I still feel that it'll be so difficult batting in the fourth. In any sort of total, over 150, you feel in the fourth innings becomes a real challenge.
And the fourth innings could be day 3. You've got to manage yourself properly after winning the toss. It's important for Pakistan to get runs on the board.
All right, then. Thank you, Ramiz and Bazid. And this is how things are at. Pakistan won the toss and they decided to bat first. One change, Waqar, from their side. Asif Afridi comes in place of Hassan Ali. How do you look at this change?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very balanced side. Normally, you don't see any change when the team wins a test match, and the conditions are not really changed. Pakistan going with extra spinner in the side, the 3 spinners, Asif Afridi, debutant at the age of 38, plenty of experience. So all these spinners you see at the bottom, Sajid Khan, Noman Ali, Asif Afridi, they all got lots of experience and they know how to bowl on these conditions. But for me, I feel, the team which played at Lahore was perfect, but the captains thinks differently.
Maharaj coming in then to strengthen that spin attack, and Jansen. I mean, what do you make of these changes?
Yeah, no surprise. Keshav Maharaj has been the #1 spinner for a period of time. So as soon as he's fit, he comes back in. Marco Jansen, I think it's a good call. I like the left-handed option. He'll be effective on any kind of surface and obviously bats really well. Interesting, they'll shift Tristan Stubbs up to #3. But it's all right making changes. Unfortunately, what has to happen is you have to stand up and do your roles. And South Africa will have the challenge of bowling first. I think, as you mentioned, with that surface, it is drier, but definitely harder. So I think you're going to get turn, but it's going to happen a little bit quicker. So those are going to, what the spinners will enjoy, because if the ball does slide on, it'll slide on quicker. And if it does turn, it'll turn quicker. So I think they'll actually be more effective than they were in the last game. I think spinners will play a massive part again.
Absolutely. The spinners are going to be in play once again. In case you guys have just tuned in, Pakistan has won the toss and they have decided to bat first. We'll take a breather and we'll catch you guys on the other side. Back on pitch side in this test match, Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium in all its glory, and plenty to look forward to. Pakistan has won the toss and they've decided to bat first. One change, we're talking about Asif Afridi. Waqar, he's almost like a first-class veteran. You know, so many games under his belt, a very seasoned campaigner, and the second highest to debut in terms of age as well, 38-year-old. So debuting very late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have issues with that. I mean, if someone's performing or someone's really doing well, you should. Misbah played very late. Even Asif Afridi started cricket very late. So, you know, if he's doing well, if he's done well, you know, all the very best. And we all should really pray for him. But looking at the bigger picture, looking at the other side of the coin, I feel, you know, you got good spinners. They have done well. And Abrar was sitting there. Why they didn't bring the mystery spinner who's done extremely well here in here in Rawalpindi against England. So he didn't play. So they brought someone from the first class to play this game. And also, I mean, Pakistan played 2 pacers in the previous match.
Yep.
And Shaheen Afridi bowled really well. Hassan Ali didn't bowl enough, I feel, that to be recognized that he deserves another game. So I feel for him. I think he should have played this game. And Pakistan got enough spinners in the side with Salman Ali Agha also can bowl that off spin. So, but the captains feel that they just want to go with one pacer. The problem with one pacer is that if God forbid, if Shaheen Afridi breaks down in the first inning and then you don't have any options, spinners, you have many options, but pacers, Pakistan known for good pacers, but that can be a problem.
The surprise for me is that when you look at his first-class figures, I don't know if we can put his first-class figures up, but he's only got 200 first-class wickets. So he's played
98.
He's played a lot of cricket, but if you look at Simon Harm, I think he's got 992 wickets in his first-class career. So at the age of 38, I'm just surprised actually by how little wickets he's got. But he's obviously been a late bloomer. He's developed his game, and we're interested to see how he goes. I do get the thoughts of wanting to have the second left armer because of the right-handers, but I do get Waka's points as well. And particularly with the surface being quicker, I think that would have suited Hassan Ali better in this match than the surface that he bowled on in Lahore.
What about having Janssen then, Polly, in the side? I mean, how do you look at this inclusion in particular, playing instead of Wian Mulder?
Yeah, I think it's a tough one on Vion. Obviously, he did well in Zimbabwe. He got wickets, he got runs. So to miss out and have a bad game and then get replaced. But I do understand how important Marco Jansen is. With his height, he's kind of effective on any kind of pitch. He'll also create some nice footholds for the off spinners. Batting-wise, he gets that long stride and he can be quite destructive. So, yeah, I mean, I love to have Jansen back, but I do feel a little bit for Mulder. I think he's been on a good trend. He's been trending in the right direction from his Test career. He'll be disappointed. There would have been discussions. I think Tristan Stubbs might have been under a little bit of pressure as well. He's had 5 or 6 innings where he hasn't quite even got over double figures. Jansen, I wanted to get back in. I just suppose who you left out was maybe the surprise for me.
From a Pakistan perspective, you caught up with Shaheen Shah Afridi earlier, and we were watching at the top of the show. He was talking about the fact that how fast bowlers can bowl in any conditions and take wickets. I mean, he was just talking about the role. How important is that to recognize that although these conditions are more favourable for spinners, but he has a role to play?
Oh, he's a match winner without a doubt. And, with him playing all formats, it takes a little bit of time for him to get into groove. And first inning was not that great for him, although he didn't bowl that many overs. But second inning, you can see the spring in his feet. And, touching 145 clicks, bowling wide areas, bowling full and trying to swing that reverse swinging deliveries, and it was wonderful to see him. So I felt that him sort of not playing longer version for a bit and then coming in the Test match, it takes a bit of time. And first inning was that time was taken, and then you saw the rhythm back in the second inning, and he bowled beautifully.
I think what I'd say is I think both Rabada and Shaheen Shah Afridi were almost a little bit sulky in the first innings because they thought, oh, look at this surface, what job can we do? But I love the change of attitude for both of them in the second innings. They came in, they had an attitude, they wanted to have a bit of a presence, they ran in, tried to make things happen, and I thought both of them fantastic. So I'm very interested to see what role they play on this pitch.
And how do you sort of look at both these spinners when you look at Muthusamy and Maharaj, different in terms of how they approach the game?
Yeah, slightly different. I mean, I suppose we always think, well, if you've got one spinner, why play a similar kind of spinner? But if you've got an away swing bowler, there's no real issue with bowling another away swing bowler. They can still be effective. And they'll have their own variations. I think, for example, Keshav Maharaj might have a better ability to get that ball to slide on. He goes wicket to wicket. It'll be slightly different. The actions are slightly different. And as I say, Keshav Maharaj has been unbelievable for South Africa for a long period of time. He's the #1 bowler. He had an injury issue. That's why Muthusamy was in, and he's done brilliantly. I mean, given the opportunity, he performed fantastically with those 11 wickets in that first Test. But I think from a pressure perspective, I think Subran didn't quite give South Africa that pressure as much as they would have maybe liked. And I think even with 2 of these left-arm spinners, they can even bowl in tandem. They'll both be effective. And I'm looking to see how the different ones go about their challenge.
Pakistan batting then, they got into a good position in that previous test match because they got runs on the board. When you look at that batting lineup, perhaps just the top order, Abdullah Shafiq, need runs from him because that is the key to having a good start.
Yeah, he did get 40 odd in the second innings, but the first inning he missed out on a very first over. Rabada got him LBW. So I feel that this batting lineup is really good. I mean, second inning they got a little complacent, I would say, because they had such a big lead, so they were not really worried. That's why even 167 they scored in the second inning was enough. But they got to be watchful, very careful going into this test match. They cannot be complacent because South Africa, I know and we all know that they're very, very good in bouncing back. So this is a good batting lineup and a good bowling. The only thing missing for me is another pacer.
I think South Africa will put them under more pressure. I was chatting with Wakar Fair before we went on. I don't think South Africa understood what a good score was in that first game. I think they allowed the game to flow too much and ended up giving them 378, was it, in the first innings? I think South Africa will set themselves a target this time, saying, hey, they can't get over 250. We've got to have the mindset, we don't give them anything for free. We keep that pressure on and we try and bowl them out for 250, because if we do that, we've got ourselves a chance. If you allow them to get 378 again, you're basically done in the test.
All right, then. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your thoughts. In terms of score, we heard from Bazid as well. He was talking about 275 is the number that Pakistan might be looking at, because we've seen what the conditions are like. Looks very dry, looks very abrasive, and the one thing is for sure, that the spinners are going to be in action once again. Now it's time to take a short break, and when we do come back, we've got all that action lined up for you, with Pakistan batting first. They won the toss and they decided to bat first. Take a breather, and on the other side, all the live pictures for you, so don't go anywhere.
Lovely.